we talked about the difference between the food desert and food apartheid. And so do you mind sharing the difference with our viewing audience?
Sure. For the last 15 years or so, this term food desert has become popularized. It really originated in the United Kingdom and the UK in the post-World War II era. And then it was really popularized around 2006, 2007 by a researcher out of Chicago named Mari Gallagher. The USDA has adopted this term, and so we see many people using it now. But many of us have stopped using that term for a number of reasons. One, it's not a term that we have chosen to define our own situation. It's a term which has been imposed on our community from the outside. And we very strongly believe that it's important for Black people to define ourselves, in every way, both in terms of our names, in terms of our lifestyles, in terms of our vision for the future, and in terms of the language that we use to describe our situation. The other reason we feel this term food desert is inadequate is because most people think of a desert as being a naturally occurring ecological system. And there's nothing natural about the disparity that we see in access to food in Black communities, brown communities, and poor white communities. In fact, we could go so far as to say these disparities were intentionally engineered. They were designed. And, we know a lot about redlining in Black communities. We know a lot about major grocery stores closing shop in Black communities and moving to suburban areas. And so we have a tremendous challenge in our community in terms of both accessing food, in terms of the profits that are derived from the food, and also in terms of our general state of health because of the often inferior food that we're eating. So Dara Cooper, Karen Washington, and others have recently begun advancing this term food apartheid because it speaks to the intentionality of the disparities that we see in food, as opposed to, again, food desert, which people think of, well, this just occurred by nature. And so many of us are using that term food apartheid to describe the situation we find ourselves in.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.